Hello, we will interview Clara Romero, Senior Manager from IT Business Intelligence Central in GM Financial Mexico.
What factors create a sustained and organizational culture, and how is culture transmitted to employees in your company?
Well, the main factors, thank you, factors create and sustain an organization. Well, the main thing is you create organizational culture from top to bottom. And I know you probably heard this a lot of times, but putting it to practice takes time. Typically, you have a leader who creates a vision, and then with that vision, the corporate culture gets created as well. So what are going to be the values of the team? You know, if it's going to be a company that works with flexibility, with creativity, and it depends also in the industry. There could be industries where it's less flexible because that's the way the job is and the culture has to be. We have companies where you can be creative. Let's say, I don't know, easy example, Google. You know, their main core is innovation. They need to be like that. If you go to a company that their main goal is to be high quality, they're probably going to have innovation, but a little chance of doing probably new things, but more on improving the things they do it because their goal is quality. So once you have clear what your vision is, then you can start putting the foundation, the key values of the corporate culture, and then transmit that to the key leaders at the top. If you can communicate properly and inspire your team with that culture, then that gets cascaded to the bottom part of employees. In your day-to-day, how you treat your team, how you work with them, how open you are in the communications. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
And what is the company's attitude towards the conflict resolution in the workplace?
Okay. We do believe in conflict resolution first on a win-win basis and mainly as a team. And so we try to make the team a participant of the conflicts. Probably in our day-to-day basis, many may know what I'm referring to, and that's we have a situation that all the team needs to work together. Then we create a communication. We get ideas from them. We ask, okay, can you manage it? How would you solve it? Okay, that's how you can manage conflict. You can have other type of conflicts between departments, and that's basically through communication between leaders, between team members, and understand what's causing the problem. Once you understand the root cause, you can find out what's the best way to solve it. Because it may have been a bad choice of words, but also it may have been something that lies, beyond the surface. There's typically like an iceberg. You see the behavior, but below that, it's what is causing you the conflict. People's beliefs, people's paradigms, even the personality types. I'm probably an introvert, an extrovert. The way you approached to me didn't like me, and then I had a conflict because I didn't like the way you approached me. And those are the things that probably, if we treat them at the surface, they won't come out until we've got a deep understanding of what is causing us that conflict. Second question?
Have you ever experienced that a conflict turned into an opportunity for improvement in your organization?
Yes, absolutely, and we had recently one where we had two teams. I had a conflict with a team lead, another team lead. And I was complaining with my manager that his direct reports were not behaving at the level I was expecting. And I kept complaining, and nothing happened. Why? Well, it's like when you tell your father that you're having a fight with your brother, right? The only way to resolve this is you go to talk to your brother and work it out. It's the same case in organization. I have a conflict with my peer. I had a conversation with my peer, was very open about it. He was receptive to it as well. And then we come up with a solution that helps us both. It helps him on the area that he is. I can support him with the behavior change he needs to implement in his team. And he gets that view that he was not getting. He thought his team was doing well. But if I'm not communicating that to him, that his team is not behaving as we expected, he won't notice. He didn't know. But you assume that he, for some magical reason, will see it. People won't see it, probably. Okay? So we need to talk. We did that conversation, we have that conversation, and a couple of strategies to modify the behavior of his team came up. One, we will do it together, the other, he will do it on his own. That's an example.
How does group decision making empower the workforce in your company?
Let me take a look at this. It does empower the workforce, but you need to balance. There are certain decisions, and I will teach you that. You will see that in your leadership styles trainings or courses, probably. There's times when you need to be what they call democratic, and that's taking into consideration the group's voice. There are times where you need to be directive. Let's say if suddenly the fire alarm starts sounding here, I won't ask you, do you think we should evacuate? I won't, right? Because it's an urgent, pressing decision that needs to be made in order for us to be safe. So in that case, that wouldn't apply. In an environment where you're trying to build something, you have time to go through consensus with the team, like implementing a new strategy that's long-term, that you have time to start these discussions with different people and get the consensus, not a vote, because the vote leaves some people, voting may leave some people unsatisfied. It's just whoever had the most votes, basically, but not necessarily the satisfying answer for everybody. So in those cases, when you have enough time to go and understand each member's opinion and come to a consensus, that's when your democratic style and the empowerment of giving the team the right to choose and vote makes sense. That's when the team feels empowered. They are part of it. They are convinced of what we're going to achieve. But you need to be very intelligent in identifying the right situation to do it. Not the fire alarm.
Okay, and the last question. As a manager, what are the difficulties that you face when you are handling with decision-making process?
The decision-making process, probably the difficulties. One could be uncertainty. You don't know what's going to happen in the future if you don't have a stable environment, would be one. The other one would be understanding how the team will take the decision made. If I want to make a decision, how is that going to impact the different parts that I'm touching with that decision? Okay, and that requires me to understand the other areas. In this case, in my job. So, if I'm trying to make a decision to, let's say, improve a process that I have in my organization, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna reduce the time where I do deliver something from X to Y, I need to be able to define that Y, that new timeline, that new SLA that I'm putting is good enough for my customer, for the other departments. Yeah. So if the other department say, you know what, that SLA, it's not good enough, it's actually double from what I could get other place, then it doesn't make sense. So having the right view, not just internally in my team, not just internally in my process, but external. Basically, a SWOT analysis. How you see, I assume you've been taught how to do a SWOT analysis, opportunity, threats, the internal part, the external part of your advantages and disadvantages. Those, I would think, are the most difficulties, be able to have a clear view of the opportunities and the threats, and mostly external. Did I answer your questions?
Yes, everything was perfect. Thank you for your time.